Imagine being able to detect malware using just a number. So we're going to build a malware script, or we're going to take a look at a malware detection script with bash. So first thing you want to know is what are file hashes. Before we jump into scripting, let's go into these file hashes. A file hash is a unique fingerprint for a file. So just like your fingers have fingerprints, files have file hashes. They're basically text strings or expressed as text strings that for every file is unique. For example, we have a bunch of files here. You see in green we have a bunch of files. And we can calculate the file hash by typing SSH256 sum and then the name of the script. That's sum. First script or malware.sh. And you see for the file name, it has a unique fingerprint. It's quite long, but it has a unique fingerprint. So this one is totally different from the other one. So, but just by looking at the fingerprints, we can know if files are the same or they are different. Let's see, let's do the other one. They are completely different fingerprints for every file. So if we would have a database of fingerprints, we could potentially detect malware. For example, if we have a file, if we ask the user for a file name, we could simply calculate the hash. Let's say the user provides it with pivot.sh. We know this file name, then we look in our database and say, okay, we have malware.sh in our database. And is the hash the same? No, so it's not a virus. So that will be the idea of the script. Now, let's create a new file. So we can say echo hello world. And we can save that as hello.txt. And let's do also another one with one character difference. And you'll see that they have different hashes. So if I do SSH256 sum, actually the other one we would want it in a file. We have two different files now, hello and hello2. And we can calculate the fingerprint. So we have hello.txt and hello2.txt. And you'll see, even though there's only one character difference, so we have hello world and hello world with an exclamation mark, the fingerprints are completely different. So fingerprints are really unique for a file. If the file changes, even if it's just a little bit, then it changes completely. So this is the file hash or the fingerprint. And the fingerprint is unique for every file. One little change changes the fingerprint completely. However, if we copy a file, so let's say we copy hello.txt to hello3.txt, and then we compare them. So we say SSH256 sum hello.txt and hello3.txt, even though they are different file name, the file hash is the same because the fingerprints are calculated based on the contents of the file. Okay, now let's take a look at our actual detector. So we have a little detector. It's called the virus scanner script. You'll see that we have a known hash. So that's simply a fingerprint of a file, in this case a malware file. We ask the user to read a file. Then we generate the hash from the file the user types, and we simply compare them. If it matches our database, which is one known virus, its malware is detected, otherwise the file is clean. So let's take a look. We run the virus scanner. It asks us for a file. So that could be, for example, first-script.sh. And then it says file is clean because the fingerprint of first script doesn't match our malware script. Now, if we ask it to scan the file that is malware.sh, you'll see it's detected malware. So why is that? So in our database, we have one fingerprint, which is this fingerprint. Then we ask the user to type the script name. So it could be first script. So if we do it for first script, the fingerprint is different. So then it doesn't match. However, if they specify a file that generates the same fingerprint, you can see it matches, this fingerprint matches the original one. So then it is malware. So in the bash script, how it does that is simply by comparing. You'll see here if. So if it compares that the file hash is known of the file hash of the database, if that is equal, then it tells you it's detected. Otherwise, it's not detected. So this is in principle, in small example, how a virus scanner works. And you just learn about how this technology works in a simple bash script. So you learned what is a file hash, and you wrote your first bash script, or took a look at the first bash script that checks the file integrity. And we simulated it with a simple malware hash. But this is just the beginning, so you can imagine that you scan entire folders or do other things to detect malware or do other things for cybersecurity on your system.